welcome to Comix. God damn it, there it
Okay.
is.
Yep. Right off the fucking bat.
All right, welcome to Comix Podcast, the show that guarantees that at least one of us would use superpowers inappropriately. I am your host today. This is Esteban.
Why do you sound like you're trying to sell us a fucking?
I know, and I didn't give the order. I didn't give the order, so just.
Hi. You sound like Troy McClure. Like everything.
I'm Troy McClure.
Thank you.
In what order are we going, by the way?
Hi, I'm Andres.
Hi, I'm Ash.
Hi, I'm Carmen.
This is Luis.
Thank you for not yelling, Luis.
This is motherfucking Luis, motherfucker.
That is racist. Not all of my people talk like that.
Wow.
Oh wow!
I know.
Wow.
Oh wow!
That was Carmen's fucking Christopher Walken. Oh wow!
He's on a roll today.
If you're not watching on YouTube, he did the little shoulder shrug, and it was quite the sight to see.
Oh, so this is grand episode 25. I want to go ahead and give everybody a thank you. Yes.
Oh. 25 shows, we made
25
it.
shows, yeah, we made it.
And Carmen's doing the round of applause like we don't know.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, she was.
There you go.
HR is on it today.
So this is episode
What?
25.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and thank everybody that has been tuning in from episode 1. We've been noticing so many downloads that are coming in, and you guys listening to us. We are at 669 total downloads across all platforms.
69.
669. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. So if you guys
it's a reference to
can,
Ministry, the band.
thank you. So if you guys can, go ahead and subscribe. Episodes drop every Monday on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like, throw some comments. So we really do appreciate all of you guys tuning in. So today we've got Luis. Luis, what are you drinking today, buddy?
Hello. We got beer.
Yeah.
We got beer. That's all I got for my Christopher Walken impression. And on episode 26, the whole episode is done in our best Christopher Walken impressions.
No, it's not.
Maui Brewing Company. It is a nice smooth blonde because last week I got to work tiny bit hungover, so I'm like, you know what? I need to chill. And so this is the Anytime beer. It's clean, crisp, refreshing, perfect for any time. Maui Brewing Company.
That's the
Cheers.
same thing on your Tinder, though. That's not weird.
Dana, he's lying. Cheers.
All right. Thank you.
Esteban, what do you think about this?
What's that?
We do an accent challenge. We all will roll a dice, and whoever gets whatever accent, as you lose your accent, you have to take your shot.
No.
But then you're out of the game.
No.
Well, when I'm a host.
I like that, actually. When you're host, I think
When
that
you're
might
host.
If you're
host.
Yeah, you heard it too, right? If you're host, it's everybody today. Today's walking.
We're walking into episode 25.
I'm walking. Yes, 3. I'm walking. What is happening?
I have no idea. So today,
what was it? Hold on, time out. When we were talking about Bolt last week, Ash was like, "I'm a dog." And it could be Travolta, could be Walken. We don't know. I'm a dog.
We'll never know. So,
oh shit.
Oh my god! Like, why?
It's chaos for when you're hosting. I don't know why. I'm sorry, bro.
Every time.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't want to know
because
why.
when you're in charge, we get to fuck around as much as possible.
I know.
We're careful with everybody else, even with Luis. But like when you have it, like no, we get to be like the little brother, little sister. We need to fuck around.
Also, fuck me, right? Yeah. Piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding.
You piece of shit.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in because this episode is very DC heavy, and I like it. So I want to go ahead and talk about Luis. You ended up throwing in a little snippet of Snyder and what Snyder felt about Batman being a murderer now. So
in his films.
in
Yeah.
his films, yeah. So
I mean, it was in an interview. He was talking about how he's not a murderer, but he's definitely guilty of manslaughter. Like, just like, oh, I'm not gonna kill these people, but I need to stop this car, so I'm gonna blow out the tires. And if it careens off a cliff into the ocean, that's on them for doing evil shit. Like, and so he was justifying that, and so that was just his whole thing. And he's like, even there's this the famous warehouse scene in Batman vs Superman where uh Batman at the very end, to save Superman's mom, shoots a gun at the dude's like gas tank. He had like a flamethrower and it blows up. And it's like his team was all like, oh, shoot him in the head, have him shoot in the head. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna shoot the gas tank, even though that for sure killed him too.
No, these
But
KGBs.
But yeah, so that was that whole thought, and of like, oh, that's why his Batman is the way he is. He just doesn't give a shit about being safe anymore. And I still have issue with it, but I mean, I've stopped resisting against the current of what is Zack Snyder. He's gonna create what he's gonna create, and I just kind of I'm either along for the ride or I'm not.
Right.
So that's my personal opinion. How does everyone else feel?
I did like, as older as he got, the more protection he needed. Like if you remember, like he got shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he knew, like, I'm keeping up with how the older I get, because fucking Bale Batman would have fucking took care of everybody without getting, or maybe even getting shot, but like not directly in the fucking cowl. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm used to fucking Batman animated series where he's wearing a suit, and in the elevator, he just, for some reason, he's Batman in cloth. No, nothing. So
yeah. I get you.
So it was pretty smart.
Okay, Carmen, how do you feel about that?
I was trying to pull up the quote that he said because I find it quite entertaining, and this is his direct quote. Once you lost your virginity to this fucking movie, then you can come and say to me something about like my superhero wouldn't do that. I'm like, are you serious? I'm down the fucking road on that. So I was like, wait, okay. See, I understand where, as a comic book fan, we kind of tend to be like, that's not what my character is supposed to be like. But I also don't agree with how he's painting this character, just because I feel that it kind of what Phoebe was saying earlier. Watch that if you haven't watched it or whatever. But
later this episode, sneak peek.
Yes. Oh fuck. Oh great. Okay, whatever. Great, love that. So ignore what I just said. You don't know what's happening. It's happening later. But just like she was saying, it kind of changes. It kind of changes the character, and if you're going to change the character, you have to kind of do justice to how you're presenting this character. And I just don't think that was done. Maybe, I don't know, it might be different now. I have no idea. I have hopes, but I still don't. I don't like what he said. And I'm also not like, I don't want to stick to the thought of, this is the way it was represented in the comics, so this is the way it has to be. But I do need an explanation, and I kind of want it to be done in a way where it serves justice. And I don't think it has been represented in that way.
Okay. What about you, Andres?
Somebody had something to say? Ash,
go ahead, man.
No, I kind of feel like the way we're saying it is kind of like Iron Man 3. Like, that wasn't our Iron Man. And it was like you're putting him in a real situation, and it just wasn't, fucking, fuck it, I am Iron Man. He was like going through shit, and it's kind of like that. Like, I would have rather had, why am I bringing that up? Him just do the little nightmare and about to kill Pepper Potts, and then that would be the extent of it, than to like him being not Robert Downey Jr. It's the same thing as they did it within that franchise, but I think too with Superman, I know I just went everywhere. I think with Superman, uh, you still have to make this character. That's why Superman's powers have grown because you still have
What
to
about
make him.
Batman?
Oh, Batman. Same thing. I felt weird too. Like when I saw him crash through the fucking truck.
We went everywhere and nowhere real quick.
Well, this is just like
It's like
this episode.
he's running at 50 miles an hour, but it's on a
Have you seen that
treadmill.
video where they're
It's
running
on-
at 19
it's-
miles an hour.
But it's on a
I'm telling
treadmill.
you, I behaved
hasn't
for an
moved.
hour. I behaved. Fuck this noise. All right, Esteban, take the reins,
Andres,
son.
thank you. Oh, thank you. Andres, how do you feel about the whole Batman killing in?
Just from the lines that whatever the fucking quote was, just comes off like a fucking douchebag. Which is kind of my problem with him from the start. But like Luis said, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Doesn't matter. It's not gonna change anything. The other thing
Especially if his movie comes out better than Joss Whedon's, I'm sure that's going to give him even more.
Unfortunately, it is so far.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
I
it's
mean,
going to
I
give
don't
him
mean
more clout
unfortunately.
to do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
gonna give him
yeah.
more clout. All right. Yeah, it's going to give him more clout to know. Well, this worked because it made. Yeah,
No, and that's exactly why I said unfortunately. Like the nerd side of me, it's like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I had no expect. I mean, I have a tainted lens because I'm comparing it to the movie that I saw versus a brand new film.
Mm.
So from the movie that I saw, it has more depth, shit makes sense, and things have weight. So it's like, oh, that's cool. But and I know the reviews are kind of all over the place with Snyderverse, or the Snyder Cut rather. But
have you read anything negative about it? I've only seen positive so far.
I've read some negative about it. The negative is that in its bones, it's still a hollow movie. That it's just a longer of that. But those are my belief is that those are the ones that were already from the get go. Like this is horrible, and then the people are worshiping the ground he walks on. They're like, it's the greatest thing ever. Like it's neither of those. I'm 2 hours in, and it is better. Like the things that happen to it, it actually has weight because it's like, oh, I actually have reason to give a shit because I'm getting to know these characters versus this is Cyborg, this is Batman,
Cyborg,
Wonder Woman, like and instead of just throwing them all in, and it's like you should know what these people do and how the movie, the Joss Whedon movie, opens up with Batman in Gotham and he pins a parademon and he meets Gordon. Like it goes right into action. And it's like we need the heroes or whatever. Like it doesn't start like that. It doesn't start with action. It starts with
as you say, maybe that's why Avengers worked is because really the Jon Favreau and all these characters have already been established that really you can't fuck up.
That's what we've been saying all along. God damn it.
I didn't know you were going to be this angry about it, though. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
I don't think he's okay.
No, I don't think you're okay.
Jesus. So going into the early reviews of the Snyder Cut, they are pretty positive. A lot of people are saying that it is a completely different movie. Currently on Rotten Tomato, it has a fresh score of 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not bad. One of the reviews that I read came from Zach Penn, who's a writer, a movie screenwriter. He also to kind of add to his resume, he wrote the story for the Avengers movie. Also for Incredible Hulk. He wrote the screenplay for X2 and also for Ready Player One.
X2 is great.
Yeah. So what he has to say, and this is a direct quote from his Twitter. It says, I had the pleasure of watching the Snyder Cut at IMAX thanks to Zack Snyder. This is an entirely different work, a new movie, an epic piece of filmmaking. It's so epic, it gives you the chills and leaves a lump in your throat. It's everything people wanted and more. And that's coming directly from Zach Penn. So, I mean, you can take it with a grain of salt. What he's saying. I mean, this is a guy that's got tons of accolades under him. Being the story writer for the Avengers, Incredible Hulk, X2, and Ready Player One. I've seen nothing but positive reviews so far. Some that the characters are given a lot more depth, and you want to, and it makes you care for the characters more.
Thousand
Um,
percent.
yeah, so I'm in it. I want to see it. I still the bar is set still extremely low for me to see this movie, being that it's over 4 hours long. I think it clocks in at what, 4 hours, 10 minutes,
404, 405.
404. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
They do
mean,
have it in. It is divided in sections, so
oh,
it's
okay,
like
yeah, the
it'll
different
say
parts, right?
part one. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I just finished part one and two, and
Okay.
then I
Is there
Yeah.
expected to be end credits? Or we don't know yet.
Yes,
There's
there
an
is.
epilogue,
Okay.
right? That's what I've been reading, that there's an epilogue, and that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. There's not anything after that.
And all I've been reading is that it's like, oh, it's cliffhanger hashtag restore Snyderverse, and which I genuinely hope doesn't happen, nor do I think it will happen. It's just
Mm.
like, this is the one shot, enjoy it for what it is, and then
Move on with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from what I've been reading too, is that if you are familiar with, a lot of people are calling it the Justice League, the
Yeah.
Justice League. If you're familiar with that one, you'll see in the movie, you'll be able to see the difference between that version and Snyder's version, because a lot of people are saying that those scenes that happen in the theatrical still take place in this one, but the
Yeah.
scenes are given a lot more depth, and
Yeah.
a lot more. There's more care in the story. You know what I mean?
What's interesting about that is that in the opening scenes, and not to give anything away, I want to let you guys enjoy it, but there were certain lines that I enjoyed in the Justice League,
Okay.
and I was like, but I didn't, I guess, realize that was one of the reshoots, and now it's becoming apparent because it just got cut from this version of the film,
Uh-huh.
where a lot of the dialogue between Aquaman and Batman, like when he's like to join or not join or whatever.
Oh, in
Like,
Iceland.
yeah, it's
Okay.
like it's a much more serious tone, and you feel like, oh shit, type
Hmm.
of moments in it, versus it's like, so I hear you talk to fish, which I actually kind of enjoyed that line. I thought it was quirky,
Mm.
but it was not out of character, but the tone changed,
Right.
because all of a sudden it became lighthearted. It's and then it's like, oh, you dress like a bat? You out of your mind, Bruce Wayne? Like, and then that whole
Yeah.
whatever. Like, and so it's very consistent with its tone, but it doesn't cut. It doesn't jump cut to another scene. It's like the scenes play out longer. And so it does make you give more of a shit for like the civilians there, for
Yeah.
the characters being involved and stuff like that. So um, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of what they're saying is that Cyborg was supposed to play a massive role in um, Snyder's vision. So, and what they're saying is that he is playing a bigger role. That his story, it makes you care about Cyborg more. He's not a throwaway character, where his one line is "booyah" in the movie. You know what I mean?
I was happy they did that though.
That they did what?
Booyah! Like when he
Oh.
said that, all passively.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I probably won't watch it till maybe tomorrow, Friday, or probably well, no, probably not, because I'm probably gonna watch the Falcon and Bucky show tomorrow. It's Friday. It premieres tomorrow, so it'll
Sure.
probably be like a Saturday or something.
Why don't you give us the calendar of your whole week?
No, I won't, because you won't leave me alone. You bug me at work all day, so I'd rather not. Thank you very much, sir.
You
So
deserve that.
what's that?
No, not you. I said
Oh.
Ash deserved that.
Yeah.
I never bug.
Oh.
Combat
So
Carl.
cutting to
Combat Carl.
what's that?
It's a combat Carl.
So Matt Reeves, the Batman movie, wrapped up filming earlier this week. So we should probably be getting a trailer in the near future, probably the next couple months, for the Batman. Granted, the first trailer was a great trailer. We saw a lot in there. We saw the tone of the movie. We see how this Batman obviously is completely different than the Batman that we've seen before. So
Beats up his roommate repeatedly.
I know because the roommate assumes that he didn't pay rent. So there's that. And there's a lot of talk about mahogany and red oak.
It's honestly he seems a little bit of a loose cannon in my opinion. This
The
Batman
roommate?
is no the Batman.
Oh, the Batman.
Batman
Oh, okay.
is bad news.
Is bad news. So you're telling people not to watch it? So with the Matt Reeves Batman done with filming and is now entering post production, I kind of want to get what everybody thinks about this next iteration of Batman. Carmen, how do you feel about this?
I remember watching the trailer and really liking the fact that it was darker than the Ben Affleck version, to me at least, and I like that aspect. I like the way he looks. I didn't think I was going to be for it just because I can't shake him off Edward Cullen. You know, like I have that in my mind, and that's the way I see him. Okay. So I was like, I don't know if he's gonna work as Batman for me. Based on the trailer, it's okay. I'll give him a chance. I'll give him more of a chance than I gave Ben Affleck. You know what I mean? So I look forward to it. And I like the way that they're portraying the character. And actually more so now that I'm learning more about Batman, that I'm like reading to finish The Dark Knight and still working through the cartoons. So I feel okay about him being Batman and the way the trailer is cut and how it's going to be represented.
Very cool. Okay. Andres, how do you feel?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I did kind of think it was an odd choice to cast Robert Pattinson as it, but I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. And you see him in the suit,
right?
And the trailer, he looked good. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Very cool. Yeah, I was the same way. It's like I was kind of like Robert Pattinson, but then again, I remember that I was like shitting on Ben Affleck when I first found out about Ben Affleck, and then obviously the tables turned for me as far as Affleck, and I was happy with his portrayal. It was a fantastic Bruce Wayne, a good Batman as well. Luis, what do you think?
It's going around the room. I feel the same. It's I stopped judging actors before I see their cut, like of a trailer. I think Affleck is the one that really turned that for me. I was very frustrated with it when I first heard he was casted, but then I remember I watched a movie with him in it that was coming out around that time. It was like a drama of some sort. And so then I watched it for the sole purpose of like, this is going to be my Batman soon. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw trailers, when I saw Batman vs Superman, even though I had my mixed feelings about the movie itself, I had no problems with him as Batman. So then I was like, you know what? I need to pull myself away and then just have faith that the actor knows the weight that's on whatever role they're playing, whether you're playing Superman, Batman, any iconic hero. There's going to be so much weight on that role. They have to feel that tenfold. So have faith in that they'll bring to the table. I mean, don't get me wrong, that hasn't always worked. Like, that's how I felt with Jared Leto. And then when I saw that performance, I was like, bro, you're giving me that? Like, you know, so it's obviously not going to work 100% of the time, but it's much easier to just kind of like leave it in their hands and be like, I'm here to be entertained. Entertain me.
No, for sure. I get it. It's one of those, again, it goes back to the whole don't judge a book by its cover type thing. So yeah. Ash, what about you?
I shut the fuck up when they were showing me 10 Things I Hate About You and fucking Nightingale as your Joker. And on top of that, when they showed the black background and just his face and the way that it's smeared and everything, again, that wasn't my Joker. because I'm used to Adam West, that Joker. I'm used to fucking, obviously I'm used to Jack Nicholson, but I just shut the fuck up after that. Like, and then I know because of Kevin Smith, like the amount of work that Ben Affleck does, not only as a leading man, but what in the nerd culture, like the fucking extent that he went to, like it would have been great for him to direct a Batman, but I just shut the fuck up after all that stuff. So Robert Pattinson, the only thing I kind of don't like is, like, I like Batman Begins because he had the cowl like that and it was all connected. When it started getting all Daredevil-y, that's the only thing I don't like about this Batman. But hopefully,
I did get Daredevil vibes.
Yeah. Especially with the very first inkling of everything, and it was a side profile, and it was almost Daredevil.
Oh, the poster, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, but I'm gonna shut the fuck up because if it ends up being amazing, then you know. And yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I did because of Hulu, I did do all of the Twilights, and I am not a hater, but I'm not a team anything. But I am not a hater.
Because of Hulu, he says.
Because of Hulu.
I would have never watched all of them because of that. No, fuck that noise. I still haven't seen any of the Harry Potters.
Motherfucker, that's a choice. And actually, about Harry Potter, I just finished watching The Sorcerer's Stone because of you, Andres. So, cool. My girlfriend's very happy with my choice of starting up this series, and so we're well
done, sir.
We're gonna start the second film. I actually enjoyed it.
Where are you streaming it, or you bought them?
Oh, they were on HBO Max, but they got pulled. They're They're on Peacock now.
Oh, okay, right on.
Oh, I have that shit because of WWE, but yes, go on.
Yeah, so it's on Peacock now, and I had never seen the first two films, but I saw the third one. So when I saw the third one, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But like, and so that was always my perception because I saw it when I was in high school with some friends. And so my perception of it is that it's always, I know. It was like, I'm like, my perception was this is a confusing fucking series. I don't get it. But it was just because the movies assume that you're caught up, you know?
Right.
So in watching the first one, it's like, oh, this shit's making sense now. And like, I actually have there's some weight into what's going on with the characters and shit. So I'm excited. I'll keep reporting in on after each movie that I finish.
Right on. Very cool. Very, very cool. So moving on, earlier this week, AT&T had their little board meeting, kind of like what Marvel does, the shareholders meeting. And the reason why I mentioned AT&T is because AT&T owns Warner Brothers. So they ended up releasing and showing part of their slate of DC movies that are coming out. And there are two new shows that are going to be coming strictly to HBO Max. First one is going to be Batgirl. We are getting a live action Batgirl that is going to be showing up on HBO Max, as well as a Zatanna TV show on HBO Max. Actually, I'm really excited for both. I think I'm more excited for the Zatanna one because they're going to go ahead and tie her in with the Constantine and then the Justice League Dark that's going to end up taking place on HBO Max. So I'm really, really stoked on that. Anybody that's collecting comic books right now, if I were you guys, I would definitely look into trying to find a first appearance with Zatanna because that shit's going to go skyrocketing through the roof. Same thing for Batgirl.
Do we know which content are they doing? Keanu, or are they doing?
They are recasting Constantine altogether. In that one episode that we talked about it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So they're going to be recasting Constantine altogether. So we're going to be there. I mean, this is just, that there's been announced. There's no casting rumors at this time. I'm sure we'll probably get into fan casting probably in another episode for Zatanna and for Batgirl. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Barbara Gordon Batgirl.
So it's not going to be the CW Batgirl, obviously, then.
Batwoman.
You mean Batwoman?
Batwoman.
No, I thought my at first instinct, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's going to be two. And then I was then I realized, I'm like, oh no, that's Batwoman. Yeah. She's cousin of Bruce Wayne versus Barbara Gordon, daughter of Commissioner Gordon.
You are correct, sir.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure that we might end up. I mean, if the Batgirl series takes off, then I'm sure we'll probably get a Birds of Prey somewhere down the road. You know, so I'm pretty sure that'll end up happening. So with that being said, I'm very excited for this Batgirl and Zatanna. Luis, how do you feel about these two new that were previously never shown on their DC docket list?
Bring it on. Well,
Yeah.
Batgirl for the longest time was going to be a project under Joss Whedon's umbrella. I want to say they talked about it like 5 years ago, where
Not
he was
anymore.
supposed to. Oh no, I know they pulled it, but it was
'Cause he's a
supposed to
fucking
happen.
creep.
Yeah, he is. But he was supposed to direct a Batgirl film, and then that turned. It was more than 5 years ago because it was a Batgirl film first, and then it
Yes.
turned into Gotham City Sirens,
Mhm.
and then that evolved into the Birds of Prey, which evolved into Harley Quinn's Emancipation for blah blah blah. So, so I was like, we're getting it, we're not getting it, we're getting it, we're not getting it, and so then now that we are getting it, it's like cool. Like I'm still excited for it, but it's not like a new thing. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. They restored the thing that they were gonna do.
Mhm.
But I think HBO Max is the perfect platform for it. For anybody that hasn't watched the Harley Quinn animated series, that's exclusive to HBO Max.
Yes.
Fucking phenomenal. Haley Kutko does an amazing job in it to just expand that universe to make it to poke fun at the Batman world.
Okay.
So just to kind of for the uninitiated that don't know too much about Batman lore, that's a perfect fucking segue to be able to just kind of learn a little bit more about it, so that any of these other projects that come out, you're already in the know.
Nice. Very cool. Carmen.
No, I'm taking notes, please, because that's definitely me. So yes.
Oh my god,
I'm
please do. You would love it.
Gotcha. So I'm excited for Satana just because I was reading up on who she is and her story, and I'm interested a lot actually because just her connection with Constantine, and I liked how he was represented on the CW show, and I know that this is going to be HBO Max, and they're totally rebooting everything. So I'm excited to see that. Batgirl, also excited just because I'm learning more about Barbara Gordon and her as a Batgirl, but I didn't like Batwoman as much, so I hope it's very different than that and the way they did that show. And I keep connecting CW to HBO Max just because somehow in my brain they're connected.
Yeah.
But I just hope it's a little bit better than that because of what I've read so far about her character. It's a really awesome character. So I just hope that they do her justice and like we get excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we saw a Batgirl on the big screen was
Alicia
Batman Forever?
Silverstone.
Yeah, Alicia Silverstone.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. Thank you. I thought it was Batman Forever. Yeah, Batman and Robin. You are right. Yeah, and Carmen, if you want to get into the comic book, I would highly recommend is The Killing Joke. If I mean, it's
well, I already read that one.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, we talked about it. No, you're good. I think I asked you guys your thoughts about it, which is in why I don't know if you guys got the chance to see the Bat Sun, Bat in the Sun, I think, the project that he did, the YouTube video that you shared with us or whatever.
Yeah.
Dying's not easier.
Right.
I didn't finish it.
And they kind of touch up on what happens in The Killing Joke with Barbara Gordon. And I was like, oh shit, I actually know what the fuck is like what's happening and what's going on. So yeah, totally.
There's a fun storyline in the New 52 when Barbara Gordon was rebooted. So after The Killing Joke, she was rebranded as the Oracle because she was in a wheelchair. She was paralyzed because of the gunshot. The New 52, when they rebooted her, it was Barbara Gordon again as Batgirl, and she went through physical therapy and she gained function of her legs again, and so she decides to put on the cowl. That is such a phenomenal fucking book. Like if you're looking for like, oh, let me see what I want to get to know Batgirl a little bit more, that would be the one to go to. Like within the first like 5-10 issues, she gets into a fight and she hears a gunshot and she freezes because she has PTSD from
what happened.
Exactly. And it's just like, it just felt so real to me. Like it's just like, oh my God, this is fucking great. And just the way that the writer, Gail Higgins, I think, don't quote me on that. But the way that the writer wrote her feelings and in like the little scripts in between action sequences in the comic book was just beautifully done, of just like, she's human. It's not like Batman, that Batman's this fucking machine that's created this for himself. Like she's more of this person that sees that her dad comes home late every night and he's drinking because he's stressed the fuck out, and she's like, I hate that these people exist that are stopping my dad from living a good life. I want to help. And so her motivation is very different from like a lot of the other comic book heroes, which is a beautiful thing. I'll stop talking. I'll look at the writer. I'll look up the writer, and then I'll talk about moving on.
Andres, how do you feel about the Batgirl and Zatanna?
I'm looking forward to it. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to Zatanna more, but I do hope they eventually get to Justice League Dark, like you mentioned. About Batgirl, I hope they do at least a few seasons of just Batgirl and telling that story before they go into Killing Joke. Just because, she's going to be Oracle after it, I suppose, or depending how they go to it. But yeah, I hope they build up to that eventually with some time in between, so we get to know the character and have her grow on us before they go ahead and do that. And if they do that, I wonder, like, is it going to be? Are they going to cast their own version of Joker and Batman for that, or are they going to use one of the cinematic versions? But yeah, so excited, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I hope they use a cinematic version. I think that would be a nice homage before they reboot it, because I know that they're going to. Like, if they were to just make reference to the ones that were, like, whether it be Affleck and
Leto. Yeah, so it's going to be Leto, or is it going to be Joaquin Phoenix? Or...
Oh shit, that's a good question. Yeah. And it's not Gail Higgins, it's Gail Simone. Yeah, she's the author. But no, that's a very good point. I didn't even think of that. Forgot that there's that. But see, Leto's kind of already like said fuck this, or he's publicly said, fuck Warner Brothers, but then he came back for the reshoots, unless it was like an allegiance specifically for Snyder.
Yeah, that's what it came down to. He said that Snyder kind of had to beg him to come back and do it. But it was ultimately, it was kind of like, an FU to Warner Brothers, and at least that's what they're saying. So, Ash, what about you? How do you feel about the Zatanna and Batgirl?
Good.
Moving on.
Wow.
Moving on.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
It's good.
Ash says it's good.
Yeah, very, very good. So starting tomorrow is Friday, and whenever you're listening to this, the Falcon and Bucky show finally premieres on Disney Plus. Oh hell yeah, is right. So the very first episode, Rotten Tomatoes is giving it a score of 96% on the very first episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Really stoked about it. I'm excited that their banter, the back and forth banter between Falcon and Bucky is there, just like it was in Civil War. So it's kind of like, it's cool. I like the very last trailer that they ended up putting out recently. So they're going to be fighting it could be one of the big three, as the Falcon said, androids, aliens, or wizards. Wizards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love that too.
So that part was dope. So that was pretty cool. I'm excited for it. This is going to be a 6-episode series, and they're going to be roughly about anywhere between 45 minutes to 55 minutes long, each episode. So
I got used to everything being 10, so that's cool.
It's going to lead us into Loki, right? So we won't be won't be a gap between stuff.
Right.
There won't be. Yeah, it goes right into Loki.
Yeah, so like the way it's mapped out is there's a week off in between each series that's taking place. So it's like WandaVision, then obviously last week we had a break, and then now it's the Winter Soldier or the Falcon and Winter Soldier for the next 6 weeks, and I think we're having a break, and then it's the next they should be kicking into Loki at that point. So
Can I segue just a tiny bit?
sure.
This is gonna go back to you, Andres. So and I keep forgetting to tell you this. So there's a show that is executive produced by M. Night Shyamalan called The Servant. That's you've heard of it.
I've seen the first season. I haven't started watching the second yet.
You have seen the first season, so you know Ron is in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ron was Ron. I know him from The Servant, so when I saw his little kid version in the fucking Harry Potter, my fucking mind is blown. And so I keep talking about it. Dude, he's so fucking great in that show.
Yeah.
But I always talk about it like to my girlfriend. I'm like, dude, I need to tell Andres this, and I just never do, and this is my opportunity. That's it.
I haven't caught up on the second season just yet, so
yeah. That's a different episode.
All right,
it's not as creepy as the first season. I thought first season was relatively creepy.
Yeah.
Just like the baby, you thought it was alive, not alive, then it's alive again. Like,
oh yeah, I was about to ask which one that is. It's Apple TV, right?
It's an Apple TV show. So The Servant, for those who don't know, it's an M. Night Shyamalan produced project, and it revolves around a baby that
maybe.
I don't know how to describe it without ruining anything. Baby and the babysitter, and creepy things happen in the house. I don't want to give anything away because honestly, like every other episode, there's a twist. Big surprise with the M. Night Shyamalan produced project, but it was very wonderfully executed, and it was just enough given to you to where you would want to tune into the next episode, where it didn't feel like a cop out. But it was it was very good. But then season 2, it doesn't have that every episode something's happening. It's more of we're playing the long game of like, okay, you guys all know this is happening, so there's probably going to be a payout at the end. But I'm just so deep invested now that I'm going through it, but I'm not looking forward to it as much as I was before. The only reason I thought of it just now when we were talking about this is because
Harry Potter.
Besides Harry Potter, my Friday routine became Wanda, The Servant, which is when the new episodes come in, and then whatever new thing we're gonna watch. In this case, Harry Potter. And so since last week we were out of Wanda, like we watched our episode of The Servant, and then we were just kind of sitting around with like, the fuck do we do now? Like talk to each other, like like we don't want to do that. So
I had a routine too when it was like Mandalorian into WandaVision.
Yeah.
There's another show on Apple Plus that if you're looking for something else, it's called Losing Alice. It's it looks like an Israeli TV show.
The foreign film, right? Or the foreign show.
But it's dubbed in English, so you don't have to read.
I tried to make my lady get into it, and she tapped out at second episode.
It's really good. Like, get through the first 2 episodes. Like, it's worth it.
Okay, we'll push through. We'll push through that barrier.
So The Servant, is it? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's the one he's talking about, Losing Alice. It's about a director that gets involved into a project, and she gets romantically involved, sort of, with one of the actors, thinking that, hey, you're in love with me, and then turns out you were just flirting with me to get this part. And so it's a drama. And the trailer looked great, but yeah, it's a slow burn for sure.
Oh, okay. How many episodes? Not that one, but The Servant.
Servant is what is it, like 9 or 10?
Yeah, I would say 10.
But it's an easy 10 though. It's like 25-minute episodes. It's like
okay, right on.
Yeah,
okay.
You just rip right through it.
Very cool. All right. So going back to the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I know we kind of jumped off topic on that, and that's cool. No big deal. That's what we do here. Let's see, Ash, what do you feel about how stoked are you for the Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Very.
Is that all we're gonna get from you?
Okay.
Okay,
No,
awesome.
I like it.
that's cool.
No, moving
liked
on.
everything that came from the trailer. I like. It's kind of funny because then when we talked about it, there's the car. There's the time that they talk to each other in the car. There's just different things that kind of. It's kind of we're getting more of what we didn't know we wanted. So their relationship was in Avengers and Winter Soldier, but like I don't know, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna be super excited. I didn't know what to expect with WandaVision, especially with what they were showing and what we were getting and
Right.
where it leads to, but I don't know, Marvel, unless it's Sony, it takes a lot for them to get it wrong.
For sure. Okay.
Is there music playing in the background, Ash?
Yeah.
Do you mind turning that down while we're recording
Yeah.
a podcast?
Sure. What you should do though is talk about it like 2 hours in.
Well, you should be more responsible and not
Well,
have it on.
Happen.
You know, kind of like when you turn the sound off of your phone.
I've done one of those things. I can't do both.
4 to keep count. 4.
No, Thor.
So, Carbon, Falcon and the Bucky show.
The Farkin.
the Farkin.
I'm excited to have back to a routine again because last Friday I was like, what do I do now? So I just ended up doing homework, but
How dare you further your education?
Right. But I'm excited just because I finished all the Marvel movies in order, and I totally forgot the interaction of both of them in Black Panther. And so they're in the back of the Volkswagen, and they're like bantering with each other, and I was like, oh holy shit, like I totally forgot about this moment, which totally sets up the show. Wait, what?
No. You said Black Panther. That's in Civil War, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's in Civil War.
Oh, yes, it's in Civil War, but that's when Black Panther is following them in the car. Got it. That's why I thought Black Panther. Sorry. Civil War. So I totally forgot about that moment and how that set up kind of this show and like their banter.
Can you move up the seat? No.
Exactly. And so I'm excited for it. And getting back to a routine again. So forget homework.
Oh, there you go.
Once more. Yeah.
Once more for the next 6 weeks.
Exactly.
Luis?
Oh, I'm all in. They just keep. I didn't need the Rotten Tomatoes score to know that I was gonna be in this. Like now, it's like my life is. I mean, as long as quarantine is a thing, I'm waiting for the new thing that Disney Plus is gonna
make release. It okay to be home.
Yeah, like just and I think we're all touching on the same point. It's give us a routine. Give us that thing that's gonna release at this point so that we can.
I feel like Marvel's doing it even better than like say Star Wars because you showed us the story of the Book of Boba Fett. And it almost should have been, even if it's not it's not the same story, but like you've proven that Fridays are the shit
again
for everybody, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It won't be the shit when the world opens up, but for right now, Fridays are the shit. And whether it's WandaVision or it was fucking Baby Yoda, help me.
The Mandalorian.
Like, I don't know. There's just clearly the fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier need to be released on Friday.
And with these releases though, like it makes me not want to pay $30 for Raya the Last Dragon. Like I'll wait. You know, as I do want to see that movie. But it's like, why would I have to drop that money if I've got
what
all
was
this
the name of the movie?
Content? Raya the Last Dragon?
It's a cartoon movie.
Yeah,
it's a
Pixar? The new Pixar movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You haven't seen trailers to it? It looks
it's
charming.
I cut the cord completely, so I don't.
Okay. It looks charming. It looks good.
It's all over Disney Plus, dude. To people,
honestly, I haven't seen it. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of like how they did with Mulan, where you pay the extra $30 and you get to watch it first, or you can wait 2 months and it'll be on Disney Plus anyway.
Yeah.
So there's that, So Andres,
they really need to rethink their business model on that. By the way,
just give us Black Widow and we'll be happy.
It's also true.
Just give us Black Widow on Disney Plus.
Hey, are you really giving Disney business advice?
They need to hire this guy right here.
Thoughts on business.
Hey, rich folks. In today's news, guy from podcast that hasn't been heard wants to give us advice.
Somehow we're gonna get canceled by Bob Iger
and Marvel. Go ahead and listen to you.
That is pretty fucking funny.
Gonna end up logging on after we end up posting this, and it's like your Anchor account has been canceled by Bob Iger. Thank you.
he fucking timestamped it so he knew it was
him. Yeah. Next time, don't try to give me business advice, bitch. Andres, how do you feel about this? About the Falcon and Bucky show?
I am in agreement with everybody. What everybody else has said. I'm looking forward to this more than I'm looking for the Snyder cut, so I'm probably gonna watch that tomorrow, and then push off Snyder cut till whenever I got time. No, but yeah, I agree with.
But it's hard going in knowing it's gonna be 4 hours, right? Like, because it's gonna be it's a commitment.
Yeah, for sure.
I get that. It's not a guy commitment. I just meant it's a commitment for the 4 hours. Like
Where did this come from?
Mad HR rolling her eyes when I said commitment. She just rolled her eyes. I
was agreeing with you.
I was agreeing with you.
How dare you? Don't you agree?
Right, well,
she's all typical men.
Yeah, that's how I took that. That's how I took that. So I fucking come on.
Now you just gave everybody listening to this how your take to women is.
Oh,
that's what it is. Mm-mm. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, you've done that.
Gay inside about I love women.
Okay. So moving on. Let's see. So for Secret Invasion, we got our first casting for Secret Invasion. Super stoked about this. So real quick before we jump into that, if you're not real familiar with Secret Invasion, it was a comic book that was published by Marvel back in 2008, written by Brian Michael Bendis. And it showed the creation of the Illuminati, kind of Marvel's, epic, or kind of that oversees, everything, as far as the group of heroes, kind of took place with Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Namor, Black Bolt, Professor X, and Doctor Strange were the ones that kind of, created the Illuminati, or came together to create the Illuminati. So long story short, Secret Invasion was showing the Skrulls. If you guys aren't familiar with the Skrulls, they made their big screen debut on Captain Marvel, shape-shifting aliens. So it's kind of like them taking over, and the villain has been cast. Mr. Kingsley Ben-Adir. If you guys don't know who he is, he played Malcolm X in the Amazon movie One Night in Miami. If you guys haven't seen that, phenomenal movie. You guys need to check him out. Really, really great casting, I think. I mean, they haven't said who his villain is going to be, or the name of the villain that he's going to play, but I think with him being the villain, I think he's gonna knock it out of the park. Super stoked about that. What do you guys feel so far about the casting for Secret Invasion? Andres.
Sorry. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Before we go to you, Andres, remind me when Secret Invasion is coming out. Do we know?
It's a Disney Plus. It's going to come out on Disney Plus, and I believe it's coming out next year. Yeah, I think it's next year. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just, my thought process was, because we just saw the ending scene in WandaVision, right? And there's a Skrull there. Plus we had like the other Skrull showing up in Infinity, the Infinity Saga and whatnot. So we're kind of being slowly introduced to them. So I was just wondering when that big payoff with them is going to be.
I'll double check right now.
No, you're fine. But go ahead on this.
No worries. No need to apologize. It's like everything else Disney does. Like I'm looking forward to, like I'm I know I'm repeating myself a lot on this show, so I don't know how to say it a different way. It's like if Disney Plus putting something Marvel out, you know it's going to be good, and the casting is good. It's like I'm put it out there. I'm waiting for it, basically. So anything you pretty much are going to put out, I'm going to be there for. So count me in.
Yeah, they've confirmed that Samuel L. Jackson is going to be in Secret Invasion, as well as Ben Mendelsohn, who played Talos in Captain Marvel.
Okay.
So he is going to be in it. So yeah. Carmen.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it just because I like that. The twist is kind of like we saw them as villains, but they're not really villains. Once you watch Captain America, you know, you understand the story. So I'm looking forward to see who the villain actually is and where that's leading off to, because I feel like that's like another setup to something else, just because of how their story was and the fact that who the Creed are the ones that were destroyed their world or whatever. So I just feel like we're going somewhere, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yes.
So, Ash, how do you feel about the Secret Invasion? I mean, are you familiar with it? Do you care? Are you still falling asleep?
No, I'm familiar with it because of the all the comic book stuff we follow. They always show the Secret Invasion, the comic book cover.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with the story because I've never read it, but I'm familiar with the of it being the context that they're trying to put it in. So
okay,
that's cool. I don't know what to expect because I don't know the story, but I mean,
well, now's your chance, man.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's a 8-issue miniseries. You might as well pick it up. I'm pretty sure it's on paperback.
Okay.
It is.
Okay,
I'm in.
He's so angry right now. Luis?
I was even thinking about how to do it on Comixology.
Ian Moore. It is on Comixology. No, it's the same thing. I'll just move it along because it's. I think we're all in agreement that it's going to be great. Disney figured out how to print money at this point, so we're all going to consume it.
And that's what's going to be weird is how when we open up, now that you've created this to make us sustainable, like it's going to be hard to figure out what goes to theaters and what goes to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Fuck, that's going to be really
good. They're really cashing in on a lot of Bendis's projects. You know, he's the creator of Miles Morales. So the Miles Morales video game that came out late last year, the Miles Morales obviously was the front and center for Spider-Verse. And so a lot of these stories are a lot of Bendis storylines. Even the WandaVision was a Bendis storyline. So it's like, it's very interesting, and we're gonna run out of stories soon, like, you know, especially because usually we start with stories from like the 60s, and so right now we're in the 2000s, so it's like we're gonna start getting it. I mean, we absolutely can, but it's like I'm just thinking, it's like, not that I'm ever fearful of lack of stories, because there are stories that are currently running that are good, you know, but it's just like, oh wow, like, and it makes it fun for being even the deepest comic book nerd. Where's this gonna go?
Yeah,
you know, even if you know the Secret Invasion storyline, like, you think, what's the next step after that? Because you know they have a phase 23 or whatever the fuck. Like,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, it's fun being a fan. It's fun being a spectator.
I would have rather had Maximum Carnage be a WandaVision in episodes.
Yeah,
because if you read the comic books, like the way they did it and the way all the symbiotes were created, like, instead of trying to explain it in 20 minutes so that we can get to Spider-Man kicking your ass, like, if you can give everybody an hour, you know what I mean? That would.
It kind of feels like that's a better format now, right? It's because, especially with the production value of these things, it's like, do you want if it's a 10 episode, do you want a 10-hour movie, or do you want a 2-hour movie? And it just sums up then. So I
kind of almost feel like the Justice League thing, if they did it 4 hours today, no, an hour today, an hour next Friday. Like maybe
original plan.
I don't know, but it's still the same movie. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a fine line to figure out what we want.
Yeah. Well, I think with Justice League is very difficult because it's a movie we've already seen with added content, you know, versus something that's brand new. Because if the first hour, like a lot of the first hour that I saw, it's shit that I've seen already. It's just little added tidbits to it. But that, to someone that was on the fence but leaning more towards not giving a shit, if that was the hour you saw, I'd be like, okay, I don't need to watch the rest of it. And then you could miss out on some gems that come out later, you know? Like
that's the first hour of the Snyder Cut, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a person that's already seen it, like, you could be like,
saw the movie. Yeah.
It's only a longer version of what I've already seen.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't give you too much actual context. By hour 2, it starts paying dividends of like, oh shit, I know those characters. Now I'm giving a shit as to what's happening here. So So I again, it's a slippery slope, like you said. We don't know what's the right answer. Let's go to cinema, or let's do a season of this shit so you can fall in love with this character over a span of 6 episodes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So last thing that we're going to go ahead and touch on before we go ahead and move on to everyone meeting our guest, Disney ended up dropping a little bit of tidbit for us Star Wars fans out there. They're going to be releasing some new content, well, semi-new content for us in April.
Are they going to be just as angry as you are now? Or
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I mean, I'm a little annoyed that you had music playing in the background while we were recording, you know, but I mean, that's cool, you know. So what they're going to go ahead and be dropping in April is I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Remember the live action Ewok movies that happened? Those are coming to Disney Plus.
I had one of them.
I believe it. And then my favorite, which I haven't been able to find, and because I did own them at one time and I refused to pay for buying another set, was the 2003 Clone Wars animated series. It was a 2 DVD collection. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. It was done by the creator of Samurai Jack.
That one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I remember.
Everything was sharp, right? All the sharp chin.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The Samurai Jack animation. Yeah.
It's pretty cool because it picks up, if I remember correctly, it picks up like immediately after Attack of the Clones, and then leads into the start of Revenge of the Sith. So you kind of see how Anakin got his scar that he's sporting in Revenge of the Sith. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty dark. I dug it. I remember seeing it then. I unfortunately lost the DVDs and I just refused to pay to buy another set. Now that it's going to be on Disney Plus, I'm actually really excited about it. I can watch it again. So did anybody see the 2003 Clone Wars? No,
I just remember I remember when they aired, but I never I didn't buy them. I didn't sit down and watch them.
Right.
Because the animation, it's a little to get used to. Like the being all jaggedy.
Yeah. So if you guys get a chance, obviously, you know, it's supposed to be, I think, premiering April 2nd or the beginning of April, sometime in April. So those 4 items are going to be dropping in April. So that's going to go ahead and lead us into our next segment. We have our guest Stevie that's going to be dropping in, and we're going to go ahead and talk Superman. So give us a couple seconds and we'll be right back. All right, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and bring on a guest, and this guest is a very good friend of mine. Her name is Stevie. So we're going to go ahead and bring her on right now. Stevie, what's up? How's it going?
Hi, everybody. Oh, it's going good, you know.
Yeah.
A little bit of Zoom fatigue. I get to do this all day at work, so
I know. I'm sorry.
I feel like I should go. No, I feel like I should go through my normal spiel. As hi, I'm Stevie. I'm a community organizer. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
Should be one of those. Hi, Stevie.
So where is it? I'm waiting for it. No.
See, come on, guys. All right. So kind of want to jump. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Stevie.
Well, let's see. I mean, what's there to get to know about me? Everything. No. Well, I'm a graphic designer. I work in marketing. I am also a community organizer with a nonprofit here in Los Angeles that works with the Latin community, the LGBT community, and any underserved communities and populations. And that's just my day job. You know, I'm a mom, so I deal with that all day. And when I get a little piece of mine, I'm just a big old nerd, you know, for everything I can possibly get my hands on. So I like to play, I love tabletop gaming, huge collector and fan. Huge fan of Superman and Doctor Who, got tattoos. So got my super there. I got my Doctor Who there. So yeah. So I'm excited. It's always fun to talk to other people who have the same like and interests. You know, you don't feel like crickets.
What tabletop gaming are you into?
Well, I like everything. So if you have like a different type of game that you're playing and you introduce me to it, most likely I'll like buy it and it'll be like my new favorite thing.
Have you ever dabbled in Munchkin?
You know what? I haven't, but I have wanted to play it. It is a game that I would like to add to my collection. My favorite one right now is Dixit. Have you ever played Dixit?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so this is a collector game. Like it's a game that I suggest to everybody. I don't care how old you are, you have to have it.
Is it like a deck building game or what is it?
It is. So when you get the box set, it comes with like the regular table game. So it's like a board. It has designated numbers so that I think it's six players. I could be wrong, it might be 7.
Okay.
And then everybody gets a certain amount of cards, and I love the cards. That's the best part of the game, is they are these illustrated cards by an artist that are just so amazing, and there's so many of them. So there's no words, it's just pictures, and what you do is you basically say a phrase. You can say anything. It could be a sound, a phrase, a gesture to give a hint to the card. And then everybody's going to pick a card from their deck to put down, but nobody's going to know whose is whose. So everybody puts them down. The main player is going to shuffle them up and then put them down. And then you'll go over the phrase. So let's say if I said like, I don't know, what's a good phrase? Like if you said, Harry Potter, like you just did something like that, right? So everybody has these cards and they're going to pick something. And the craziest part is sometimes everybody's cards will be something that you think of in Harry Potter. So then what ends up happening is you're trying to figure out who is the person's card, the active player's card. But the object of the game is you at least need one person to guess your card to win. But if everyone guesses your card, you get no points.
Right on. Okay.
Has like a Cards Against Humanity feel to it too.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, it's more PG.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great family game. It's really great to play with friends. It's always interesting because depending on who you're hanging out with, you know, like their interest. So if I went to a party and, you know, I was, you know, playing with Esteban, of course, my keywords are always going to be something that I know you're going to know.
Oh, so right on. Okay.
Like comic books, you know, it's going to be movie based and all that. Cause I'm like, you're the person I need to guess my card.
Okay. So, very cool.
Yeah. It's a great game. Totally.
Right on.
Have to put it into your collection.
Very, very cool. That's awesome. So I wanted to ask, what got you, like, what drew you into the nerd / geek culture? Like, what was it that like hooked you?
Oh, gee, I don't even know. Like, I just remember as a kid going, see where I'm from, it's there's a lot of Asian stores. It's a very Asian community. And I remember this one place, you know, they always have like the Sanrio stuff, like pins and all that. Wasn't really my thing, but you know, you're like, hey, you know, everybody's all about let's trade pins or who has the coolest stuff. There was this one place just down the street from my house. They had one small section dedicated to like comic books.
Okay.
And the ones that they always had were like the Superman ones.
Okay.
So I remember like just kind of grabbing those and kind of reading those. And so it kind of started from there. Definitely the Christopher Reeve movies got me into Superman.
Okay.
Totally love gaming. So there was a few arcades. I don't know if y'all remember Pogs. You remember Pogs?
Of course.
Showing my age here.
Or Tassos, depending on where you grew up.
Yeah, or that, yeah.
Inside the chips, the Looney Tune Tassos.
Yeah.
Look, just those type of things, like the little stores you could find around here, and it was like what you grew up picking up.
Okay.
But now, like older, it's like the nostalgia of it. Like that was my childhood. That was, you know, getting lost in those type of worlds, right, outside of our own. So yeah, definitely, I would say that's kind of like a pickup on it. But
okay,
yeah, nothing like I can think that pinpoints it too much. So
okay, very cool. Now, was it that shop there because they only had Superman stuff? Is that what drew you to Superman, because it was really just that was there, or was it like is there like a backstory to it, you know, or like a bigger love for Superman than just seeing it there, you know?
I think what it was is like, you know, I don't remember watching Superman in cartoon form. I do remember like Christopher Reeve as Superman.
Okay.
And I know like everybody was always like, it was always like Batman or Superman, and everybody was always Batman. So me being me, I love to go against the grain, and it was like, no, Superman. Like, of course, Superman's number one.
Right.
But I had a friend who had a brother who had a huge comic book collection. Like, I've never seen anything that big. Like, the kid could have had his own comic book store.
What?
I've never seen anything that big. Never mind. Continue.
That's what she said.
Just so you know, we'll be cutting that.
I'm waiting for Ash.
I looked up at Ash and I was like, "Ha!" And then when nothing happened, I'm like, "Oh, got it. We're being polite right now. Continue."
I think Ash is holding back a little bit. That's all.
I don't know. I'm not that kind of woman, so I wouldn't know. But no, he had a really extensive comic book collection. Is that better phrasing? Okay. And I remember kind of like you kind of being like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like,
right.
I wish I had like stuff like that. So that's kind of like, you know, oh, I'm going to pick up comic books, but I can't honestly say I can remember them carrying other comic books. I remember just Superman.
Right on.
I think it might've been the Doomsday one.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think it was like the tethered cape, and it was but it was a white cover.
Yeah.
I remember
okay.
It was a plain white cover and just the tattered cape.
Okay.
So
very cool.
That I can honestly remember. I remember. Hold on, let me turn off the sound on my phone. Sorry about that.
Isn't it crazy how like older Superman was like, it shows him like punching the Nazi or something, and it's like now Superman, like that would have fucking killed that guy, like just or him. There's that stupid ass meme where Superman's holding the tree and Batman, and then they're all trying to get somebody out of the river or something.
Yeah.
Superman. So it's just funny where Superman started all the way to like now he can lift like cities.
Right.
Oh yeah. Because I mean he was created for a different time.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the depiction of like how they would be able to combat like the bad guy or the things in that time. You know, like what was it? Comic books used to take place. They all these different alien comic books, and his was just a different variation of it. Like if an alien was to save us and help us. And then, I mean, honestly, his powers just kept growing as his story kept unfolding. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when Action Comics first came out, he didn't fly. He jumped. That's all it was, you know.
Yeah, he jumped the tallest building. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he didn't fly. He didn't have the heat vision. He didn't have anything like that. You know, he had the super strength, but he didn't fly. But yeah, to see him evolve from Action Comics #1 to what it is and to what he is now, you know, and the different Elseworld stories that are coming up, you know, that, you know, Superman from Earth 23, Superman from Earth 2, things like that, you know. It's just a different, just to see what he can become, what he can evolve, and then going into Superman Prime, you know, where he's at his best ever, you know what I mean, you know, getting to that, you know. So yeah, it's, and I think it ultimately comes down to imagination. I mean, whatever the writer's imagination is, you know, it's gonna go ahead and you're either gonna get Superman's powers go ahead and evolve tenfold, or get a new set of powers or something like that, you know. So it's gonna be completely different. So I know with us, you know, obviously being comics, you know, and then we have, you know, our favorite, you know, DC superheroes. Obviously, Stevie, you're obviously going with Superman, right? Yeah. And then Ash, you're Batman.
Well, you can't go by the shirt, but I am Batman.
Yeah. And then Andres, Superman, of course,
Superman.
right? Superman
with the glasses, right?
Yeah, there you go. Superman. Carmen,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, right on. And Luis,
Wonder Woman.
That's too hard of a choice, man. Like, do I go Constantine, that was Vertigo before it became DC? Do I go Batman Beyond, something that's not that old? Batman obviously being one of the OGs, but Superman is the tether that brings the DC universe together. Without Superman, he is hope. Like, and so they can't, one can't function without the other. And I know that's such a cop-out answer, but
I don't see it that way.
They complement each other in such a beautiful way. It's and that's and kind of like what you piggyback on what you were saying, Stevie. It's like that was always the question of like, oh, who's better, Batman versus Superman? It's like, you know, they don't see each other as rivals, right? Like, you know, they're friends. Like they get along. Like, if anything, and I know, like,
jealous.
Nowadays people like compare, you know, DC and Marvel, and that's a constant topic on this show. It's like, how about you just like what you like? It doesn't have to be us versus them. Like, how about I'm into this shit, I'm also into this shit.
It's honestly like having a team. So I mean, it's like an Angel fan versus a Dodger fan. It's just that age-old rivalry. Like, you know, I bet a bunch of people here are Dodger fans, and I'm an Angel fan. So again, against the grain.
No. Hey, so you have to go then? Okay.
Bye.
And she's going under a tunnel, guys. So we'll be right back.
Hello.
No, but even being like you can be a good fan. Sports is, I think, a beautiful example. Like everybody, sports got such a bad stigma when
people started fighting at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, that dude got like beaten into a coma. Like, and so there was this stigma of you can't be a fan of something else, and it's like, no, you could be a sore winner, you could be a sore loser. How about you just don't be a piece of shit and don't push people, especially when alcohol's involved, you know? It's like, I have been to many games of where the opposite team is cheering. They're not talking shit, but they're cheering whenever their team does something. And it's like, and there's that friendly rivalry. It's like, oh, we'll get you. And then he just kind of like raises his beer, and then we go back to
it gets less friendly every beer though.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, it's true.
You're not wrong, but it's also you need to know your limits, right? Like, and you just don't push, and you just don't go into like that disrespectful place. And I just think that goes with anything that people are passionate about.
I think it's good to have a playful rivalry when it comes to it. But at the end of the day, aren't they all on the same team? Aren't they all, you know, trying to do the same thing? But we all are always like, well, my mind's better. So I mean, come on, true. Like when it comes to like Superman and Flash, like who's faster? You know, my nephew's a Flash fan, and I told him, if you look at it though, that's Flash's main like superpower, right? Like that's what he does. So I would see that as him being faster than Superman. I go, but it is an age-old rivalry where it's a continuous back and forth. It's been played in the comic books, it's been played in the movies, and it's that old where everyone wants to know, but it never really gets told because they each one up each other each time. So we're always at a tie. So
Yeah,
I think it's great.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's very true because I believe there are 4 separate instances that topic has come up in the comic books. You know, Superman versus Flash as far as who's faster. I think twice in Flash comic book and then twice obviously in the Superman comic book. But yeah, I think there's only been 4 and then it's like one's up the other and does this or does that. So it's always that, you know.
Oh, you know what was my favorite one? Did you I'm pretty sure you all see it. You remember when the new 52 came out? And it was like the whole new revamp. There was a Superman comic and I think it was when the Flash and him came they met. And I think the Flash was trying to pull a fast one on Superman, and all he did was reach out his hand and flick, just a little flick, and then Flash just goes right through a wall. Oh man, reading that and turning the pages, I was like, yeah, that's right.
He finally gets his.
But it's carrying on that. It's because it's fun, you know, like it keeps us all going, oh yeah, see the Flash, or oh, see Superman. I think it's great. They make it fun, but maybe sometimes we take it a little far ourselves.
Just a little bit too far.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Now, are you planning on seeing the Snyder Cut?
I keep getting asked by everybody. It's so funny. I had a friend message me. He always like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen that? What's your opinion? Okay, so I'm not a fan of Zack Snyder. I'm not. I'm super upset with a lot of what's come out from him. Like in the beginning, it was like, okay, a little bit. And then I literally couldn't watch Justice League. I wouldn't do it to myself. I think I waited a year and it wasn't even my choice. My wife was like, oh, you have to watch it. It's not that bad. That was my mistake listening to her. So I watched it and I wanted to cry the entire time. I was like, this is just so disappointing to me. I was like, I don't like it. I don't like how he's changed things. And then, you know, I know that it was Zach's movie and then what's his name? Josh Whedon. Okay, so then I get it. So there's like a little transfer there. Still wasn't a fan, and everybody's like, well, are you gonna watch this one? So I hear it skewed back to like old school TV screen mode, and it's 4 hours.
Yes, that's what I hear too. It's set on 4:3,
something like that. Yeah,
they announced that at the beginning of the thing.
Yeah, so that's what I heard is that that's how it's set up. It's set up as old school TV. So if you got this nice TV, you know, you're gonna be watching it like this, you know. So that's what it's gonna. So that's.
It doesn't look bad. The picture's pretty.
I haven't even seen the previews.
Okay. So you completely stayed away from it altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you telling me about it. Like, hey, have you seen it? And I'm like,
I get it.
What are the changes you don't like? Like they made Superman a little darker. They made Superman.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I look at Batman is Batman. Gotham is Gotham, you know. Superman is Superman. And I understand that in like modern movies today, we want to make changes to kind of, you know, feel for something more today than then. But the way they darkened it, and then spoilers, when they make him take a life, it was just like that's not Superman. Like that's not Superman. That's not who he's ever been. And I don't understand where we're going with this story. Like you're taking away something very key to who he is.
Okay.
It's like you listened to our episode 2 episodes ago. We got into really depth about that very topic, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ash. You were gonna say something?
Instead of Martha, wouldn't it have been cool if Batman or Superman had broke through his bat suit and then Batman realized you could have killed me and then you didn't kill me? Like I would rather have that than like the Martha thing was kind of clever, but it wasn't. I don't know why people are just.
I mean, was it clever? I mean, let's be honest. Was it clever?
I mean,
I had never thought both their moms were named Martha. Like every time I hear Martha, inch by inch, that joke. But but I don't know. What was I going to say about that? Sorry. I don't know. Henry Cavill, Brandon Roth was actually my Superman for a little bit.
Oh, you love Brandon Roth, yeah.
Right? Yeah, I feel like they should have kept it with him for a little bit.
Totally loved Brandon Roth. I don't really have a problem when it comes to Henry Cavill. Like, I think he embodies the character, great. I just think when it comes to maybe the depiction and the writing,
Mhm.
it didn't really. It's not something that I thought was the greatest.
Mhm.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I've been thinking about that a lot recently, and because I saw Man of Steel probably late last week, so I saw Man of Steel again. So Man of Steel, obviously Superman origin story, saw him that way. Do you feel, or do you think that because he is Superman and we know Superman is not going to take a life, always considers the casualties, so takes the fight elsewhere, whether it's on another planet or whether it's somewhere where there's no population, period. Okay, there's nothing there. So being the fact that this is the first time that he's facing danger, hasn't been Superman for many years or anything like that, but this is, if I can say, the infancy stage of him as Superman in the suit, fully developed powers and things like that, that he was obviously over his head and didn't completely think about the casualties and didn't see any other way but to kill Zod at the end, because it was just, but see, I know, unless he's shaking his head no, because I'm telling you, Superman fans, but again, that's what I'm saying, I'm playing devil's advocate,
So in your devil's advocate, what was the whole point of the hobo Superman version?
Say it again.
What was the whole point of him being like nomaded out and going to learn shit?
Because they were trying to pull a Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole Superman thing is he's more human than human, even though he's a fucking alien. Like that's the whole
more
Superman
human
thing.
Than human.
Yeah. No, I get it, and that's what I'm saying. Playing the devil's advocate, that's what one can say in regards to Man of Steel.
One would be stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Okay, to be fair though, you're playing devil's advocate, but you don't even believe that yourself. You're just saying,
no, absolutely not. No.
I just wanted to.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure everyone understands that I wasn't calling Esteban stupid. Like,
I get it.
Okay, no, I know you get it. I'm saying everybody else. All right, cool. Continue.
Can we Mystery Science 3000, the movie Steel with Shaq?
No. I am not watching that movie.
You know what I said?
You're not watching that movie again.
Come on.
Yeah.
Which one's this
talk
one?
all the way through it.
Oh, you don't know?
Steel?
Which one?
And then we'll do Kazam.
Oh yeah, wait. Yeah. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Shaquille O'Neal.
What do you think about all the other Supermen?
Yeah.
Like, what did you think after the death of Superman? They had the solar Superman. They had
the Eradicator.
Eradicator. What did you think of that?
So how they were trying to come up with like all these new characters and where they were going to take it and all that stuff. Honestly, I think it was kind of like, I think if it was like a real thing, wouldn't you? Because now you're losing the hope that you had, and now you're just trying to substitute it, I don't know if let's see, what else came out of there? They had Superboy.
Yeah, it was Superboy. It was the Eradicator.
Robot one. The robot guy.
Yeah. You had the what was it, like half? It was a cyborg version.
Yeah, and then Steel. So I think
and then
it was
Steel.
4.
Yeah. Okay. So Steel, I like, because that was what the steel worker guy who was like, I'm gonna take the place and I'm gonna pick up where he left, and I think they were all great stories. It was showing like those around. Well, his story especially, like we're losing our great hope. I'm gonna pick up and I'm gonna do what I need to like replace this, because he was a symbol. He meant something. When it came to like Superboy, that was like what they took portions of his DNA to like.
Yeah, he's a clone.
Yeah, so
him and Lex.
Yeah, so I mean, like those were good stories, but I did like Steel, because it's kind of like here's a person who's realizing like what are we gonna do without this person? But as for the Cyborg one, I can't remember too much of that storyline. I'm like grasping at straws here.
He was an astronaut that Superman saved, and as he came back, he kind of got like cyborg parts, but he was actually a villain. He blamed Superman for what happened, so he was trying to, yeah. But he's still, I don't know as of late if he's still come out in the series, but he's been in and out. I think he's actually dead right now. I don't recall.
I think you're right.
But he's come back and forth after everything was after this return of Superman, and he defeated him. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think in the comic books he's dead right now.
I believe so.
Yeah, but Stevie, have you seen Reign of the Supermen?
Hank Henshaw.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is Hank Henshaw. Yeah. It's on HBO. It's on HBO Max, the animated cartoon.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about, but
yeah.
You see, this is where I go all like fuzzy because I'm not. Yes, I've seen it, but I don't know why I'm getting like pictures of Flashpoint Paradox. So I might be confusing the two.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Because it's I think it came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was a straight to DVD type thing. But yeah, it came out a couple of years ago. I saw it. It's actually a pretty good representation of that comic book series, that arc, that story arc. It was actually pretty good. It was really, really good. I liked how they did it there. How do you feel, Stevie, about this whole thing about the Superman reboot happening?
So go into it more about what the reboot.
Okay, so there's a lot of drama, obviously, right now with Snyder and the WB execs and stuff like that. Okay,
so I get it.
Yeah. So what they ended up doing to kind of steal the limelight away from Snyder was they leaked that J.J. Abrams is going to be rebooting Superman. Okay, but this Superman is going to be an alternate universe Superman, and I believe it's going to be Superman from Earth 23, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to be a black Superman this time. Okay. Now the Superman from Earth 23 is a representation of Barack Obama. This Superman is the president of the United States and Superman as well. So it's supposed to be that storyline or that type of reboot that they're going to be doing.
I mean, it sounds like, why not give it a completely alternate twist? I mean, don't they constantly create different variations of Superman's story to begin with? Mm-hmm. I think it's good. I honestly don't know. I heard about the J.J. Abrams portion, but I didn't hear about all the rest of it being a different Earth. Mm-hmm. But hey, I mean, what's it gonna hurt? I mean, all these other movies, I mean, maybe it'll be something good.
Right. Do you feel that they are giving Henry Cavill the shaft for doing this?
Well, I mean, if it's how many Spider-Mans have we had?
I'm just saying. No, I get it 100%. I understand. But
honestly, I would like to continue to see Henry Cavill play the role and be given the opportunity of, a Man of Steel 2. Mm-hmm. Like, I think we all want that. But I mean, honestly, if it's going to take another person to bring in another world with something better, then I mean, bring it on. I mean, give me something worth watching with a great storyline, and that's going to depict the character for what it needs to be. So that's great, but honestly, I don't know. Like, can we get rid of the Ben Affleck whole crap and can we just get back to Man of Steel and just finish that story?
Of course, no, absolutely. I think Brandon Roth wasn't given his time. Number one.
I think Brandon Roth got a shit deal. I really do. Mm-hmm. When watching Return of Superman, what I really loved about that movie was the science behind it, because they really made it play to like how Superman's strengths would work in actual real world situations, mm-hmm. and not like they did like in the, what is it, like the 1950s with what is it, George Reeves,
George Reeves.
and then with Christopher Reeves as well. Like there were just certain things that just, it wouldn't really happen that way, but it was Superman, so you were like, ooh, cool. So when they put a lot of science behind it, it was like, you know, if Superman actually took off, it would create like a sonic boom. And if he actually landed, he would create, you know, structural damage in the ground. If he was combating a plane, he just wouldn't catch it with his bare hand. I mean, he'd have to, you know, put a little work into it. I thought all that stuff was amazing and it was great. But the part where I think he got the shaft was a lot of the movie was not like, I want to say like homages to past movies, but like stealing like stuff and putting it into this movie. So it wasn't like, it didn't feel like its own.
Okay.
It felt like somebody took pieces of different movies and then put it together from like, you know, the script to like certain phrases. And it was like, wait a minute, what is this? I thought this was supposed to be Return, not, you know, let's take a little bit of all this, put it together and make a movie of it.
Right on.
I kind of thought Brandon Roth was kind of a cutie, like this like soft spoken little Superman, you know, maybe something youthful with time to grow, but we never got that. And I feel like I felt cheated on that a lot. Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. So how do you feel about Superman and Lois? The CW show.
So I was watching like Arrow and all those programs and Supergirl. And then I think I fell out of order and stopped watching them all. And then I heard about they introduced Superman. And the actor who plays Superman,
he's not Superman.
Nothing about him exudes Superman. He looks like a stick figure in a really, you know, muscled out suit.
Yeah, it is really weird when he's wearing normal clothing and then all of a sudden he's all like in the suit.
Yeah,
and
he looks very. He does not look proportioned at all.
It's really weird because it's like put on the glasses and all of a sudden he's a scrawny guy and then take it off and like he's buff, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty funny too when he's not Superman. Like the kids are yelling, he's not Superman.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, they've never seen Dad without his glasses.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't try to judge it too much because I obviously wasn't watching the Supergirl series when he came in.
Yeah.
So when I saw that they got their own show, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch because I'm a fan. So of course I'm gonna watch. But I still have not gotten used to the way this guy looks.
Right.
To me, it feels like, God, not even the old cartoons he was that small. But he feels like an old style kind of character. And the same thing with Lois. Like, actually, the more that I watch the show, I actually like her.
Okay.
Not so. Maybe they just don't carry the image that we've all kind of been used to.
Right.
But I'm actually liking her character.
Okay.
But Superman, yeah, I'm still on the iffy side with him. But the show itself, the cinematography is out of this world.
Yeah.
Like for a CW show, I thought I was watching a movie. I thought I was watching a straight out movie. Like it was, I think that's what got me is I was like, okay, this is worth it. Like it looks good. It's got the whole vibe.
Right.
But I don't feel like this is necessarily Superman and Lois. I feel like this is more about their kids.
It seems that way. Yeah, it really does seem that way. I mean,
that's CW shit.
Kids. Yeah. And for a lot of people that don't know, Superman and Lois, it's following the Arrowverse Superman at this point. You know, I really don't like the fact that they changed his costume to what it was when he was in the Arrowverse. when he wore that costume, he seemed proportioned. He didn't seem all like with his shoulders being out farther and then his head being a lot smaller than it fitting on his body.
It kind of looks, it looks like he's got so much space right here. Like there's just something, it just doesn't fit. It's because he's a very slender guy.
Right.
And for activities.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not Wolverine yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we all remember how Hugh Jackman was in the first one compared to like Logan. I mean, he's yoked out, but.
So there's 4 episodes. You're what, 3 episodes in?
3 episodes in. I'm a mother, so it takes time to watch things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got you. So for those 3 episodes, what would you score or what would you rate that show? Just based off of like, if the season were to end right now, what would you give it?
Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is episode 1.
Okay.
I'm going to say 5 because it from how I felt about it going in and coming out of it, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this and I'm going to give it a chance.
Okay.
2 and 3, I'd say about a 4.
Okay.
I'll give it a 4, but like a low 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that. the one that the episode, I think it was episode 3. Yeah, I think it was episode 3 where we found that there is another metahuman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. There is,
Spoiler.
and this, huh?
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding.
You got to do your homework before we show up here, okay? No.
Yeah. Carmen's hitting the spoiler alert alarm.
Oh, wait.
I know, it's all good, but what took me out of the show was I'm not kidding. It was a side view of them squaring up to each other, and I am not kidding. To see them square up on each other. It's like, for all wrestling fans that are out there, it's like watching Braun Strowman, a 7-foot tall man, against Rey Mysterio, who's like 5 foot nothing. Like, and just you see the angle of, you're just like, there's like, what the, like, that's not Superman. Like, it took me completely out of it. You know what I mean? Cut to Superman getting his ass beat. Okay. And then when he gets up, he floats above him to show that he's superior than this guy now. And I'm just like, I couldn't, like, I just could not, I couldn't dig that. I didn't like it. So
that's what took you out of it, but not the kid going, I'm nothing special. Next episode, I'm something special. Like,
my issue with the way that they are, the way that they're kind of presenting the brothers is, it was the classic, one's going to have powers, the other one's not, you know, and there's going to be that jealousy there, you know. And the one thing that I didn't like when I first saw the promo for it was, you've got the all-star, you know, the all-star son that plays football, and then the socially awkward, you know, high anxiety. Yeah, exactly. And the way they were presenting them in the show, if you watch the first 3 episodes, the all-star son wears nothing but like white or light colors throughout his entire costumes. The other one wears nothing but dark, muted colors. And that's, so it's like, okay, you're trying to show the yin and the yang between the 2 brothers, which I get it. But I have a feeling that when it ends, or when the series at one point is going to come to brother versus brother, and, you know, the underdeveloped, or the brother that ended up developing his powers first is now going to become far superior than the other brother. And then when the other one, if he gets his powers, it's just going to turn into a pissing contest between the 2, which is classic WB like show. You know what I mean? So
if you look at it, so you have Jordan, right? Who obviously is, you know, I'm the sad kid.
Right.
So he's having all these emotional issues. He's dealing with his teenage years and being awkward. Right. So that allows for his powers to come out, right? Because he's obviously can't control them. Then you have his brother, who's Jonathan, who's over here. I'm confident and I, you know, rule the world and everything goes fine for me. Right. So I'm not going through anything, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure.
But now we are having a twist. and now the other one's going to start going through things. So is that going to then bring forward where all the powers will then start to come out? Because that's how I'm seeing it, is it's going to flip, and then obviously they're both going to have powers of some sort, and yes, it's going to be like it's going to feel like a Superman versus Red Kryptonite Superman kind of thing, and I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. I think we're all waiting for that shoe to drop. So
I wouldn't doubt it. So based off
of
that,
there's I know I keep doing this, but there was a way that CW's doing it, and then there was a way of WandaVision's kids being awesome from beginning to end.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
See, but
like the way they're doing is kind of like, it's very fucking Dawson's Creek. Like, I'm so special. I can't handle my powers. I'm nothing. Like, and I was like, wait, you cried about being not special, and now you are special, and you're still crying. And homie with no powers is like, hey, so what's up with that chick? Like,
priorities, man. Priorities.
Yeah, right.
The difference is there's Marvel and then there's DC. So
there's that old.
We almost got it. DC.
almost.
I mean,
that's gonna be DC's tagline. Almost got it.
Almost. Trailing behind, trying to catch up.
Well, with I haven't seen it yet, but with the Snyder Cut, again, if it's successful, DC kind of goes where the money is. So after they fucking pigeonholed everybody, and they fucking, so I don't know what they're gonna do, if they're gonna eat their own words. Like, no, we never not liked Ben Affleck. We never not liked that. Like, we were trying to fucking, we're gonna do an Asian Wonder Woman. No, we were doing any of that stuff. Like, fucking trying to sweep everything under the rug. Justice League 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta find time for it. Somebody's got to watch my kid in order for me to actually be able to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm gonna need a couple drinks just to get through it, I'm sure.
But... You're on the right
show. I mean, as a fan, I want to watch it, but as a non-fan of Zack Snyder, I want to I want to just be like, nope. No,
I get you. So the last thing I kind of want to touch on before we let you go, Stevie, is Brightburn.
Now, oh my gosh.
Brightburn.
Can I say thank you for introducing me to that, because it was...
You are very welcome. For those that do not know Brightburn is, the way I would describe Brightburn is a horror movie, Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably the best way I can go ahead and...
Two of my favorite things.
Probably the best way I can describe it. And it's practical horror, I guess. When you're watching the movie, it's practical horror. So it's like, if you can stomach Saw, you'll be fine watching this.
Oh, that was what you compared it to?
Like, to me, that was right to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was I was looking right at you while I was saying it, man.
Remember in softball when I would be in left field and that guy would just turn because he knew he was going to hit it to me? That's what you just did to me right now.
Well, I'm trying to get you out of your comfort zone. So Brightburn, again, it's if you guys haven't seen it, you guys need to watch it. I think it's on Amazon right now.
Yeah, that's how I watched it.
2019 or 2000?
No, I think it came out in 17, 17, something like that.
Because I remember it was a big deal then, and then is it making the comeback because of the streaming? Is that why it goes up again? Because I saw a lot of memes. I saw a lot of...
No, I don't think so. Okay. I don't think it was necessarily that. It was just one of those things where I asked her if she'd seen it, and
I didn't. I haven't seen it, and what's interesting is so a lot of the times I don't do TV. I do streaming.
Yeah.
So I miss out on like commercials and advertisements, and I have to hear it from friends. Like, did you see this? Have you heard about this? And I'm like, no, tell me.
But you have to do that face. You have to do that. Dummy face.
Come on, Esteban, you know.
I know.
So yeah, I what is it? I streamed it, and wow.
Yeah. It was.
It's like what you think would happen.
Yeah.
If you found an alien child.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's what you would assume would happen. Like, I'm gonna go get this baby. Oh, so cute. I'm gonna make it mine. the hell you think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
not the
absolutely.
latter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to grow up and try to save the world. I mean, but I mean, it was one of those where he was, well, spoiler, because we're probably going to end up spoiling it, but this movie is real. I mean, yeah, like Stevie said, it would be considered real life scenario of if you found an alien child in the woods, like what are you gonna do? There's
I'm gonna domesticate it, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's that to see his development throughout the entire movie, where he starts off as like the chill kind of kid, like nobody really bothered him, until like he would say something, or if he was quote unquote too smart for his own good, then they start making fun of him, the kids in school and stuff like that. But when he starts developing his powers, or he knows that he has powers, it's what you think a 13 or 14, no, like 12, 13-year-old kid would do with fucking powers,
Yeah.
And to see the mom just nothing but like, that's my baby would never hurt nobody.
That's a mother's love.
And I'm just like, and I'm watching this, I'm like, are you for real? You don't believe that your kid ended up ripping open someone's insides and pulling out their entrails, and then was using their small intestine as jump rope? Like, that's not
Watching it the whole time, I was feeling the same way. I'm like, come on, mom, like what's going on here? But at the same time, I'm going, yeah, I'd probably do the same for my kid. I mean, like, it's okay, baby, it's okay, we'll fix this. I don't know, it's creepy, it's interesting, it's a great alternative to what could have been. I really love the gore in it.
The gore was great.
Every time something gory I'm one of those people, like, I don't get scared from the gore. I think it's funny. Yeah. So like the scene with the uncle, and then the crushing of the, I was like, oh dude, it was good. It wasn't cheesy.
It was practical. It was
good. And I was like, wow, this is actually good. But when I was looking up about it, I saw that it didn't do that great, and I was like, well, I guess I had to be late to the party to realize it was something worth watching.
Well, but then again, I think I kind of see it like the same thing. Like, people were comparing it to Superman. They're like, Superman would never do that, and blah blah this and that. Like, oh, I'm not going to go watch it. So it could have been one of those,
But then again, it's another version. It's an alternate word. So it's like, if you're going to take those types of things and you're going to change it up, you got to have a good story. Right. So even if you're completely changing that whole characteristic, but you can't do the same thing in the real story.
Right.
But if you take it somewhere else, okay, let's see where you're going to take it.
Name other things, change the names of certain things, and
like,
do it that way. So
what was it? Is it the Red Sun? I think it's what it is, the Red Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that one, like it's another one where it's like he didn't land in Kansas, but he's in the Soviet Union. It's what a difference the story is, and it's an interesting take on how things could be. But this one by far I thought was, it was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
So if you guys get a chance, check out Brightburn. Like I said, I think I saw it on Amazon. Was able to stream it on Amazon. It wasn't free. You had to pay for it. I think it was like $12, $13. But it is worth it. Absolutely.
It was a little fun fact about it. It was the producer of it was James Gunn, known famously of Guardians of the Galaxy. The writers of it were his two brothers, Mark Gunn and Brian Gunn, co-wrote the script. And him and James Gunn and his wife.
What about Badass and Billy? They weren't in there?
Who?
Only one person got it. Never mind. Badass and Billy. No, Badass Billy Gunn and Bart.
Oh, Jesus.
Badass Billy Gunn. Come on.
I know.
Oh, you didn't hit the first time. Moving on.
No, that you got it because I saw your face.
Yeah, I was exasperated at how lame it was.
Damn it.
So on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with Stevie. Stevie, thank you very, very, very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
You're always welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun.
Keep me posted on the next. Been a guest, people are gonna choose the guest of the year, so you might have to be back.
I'm so honored.
Yeah.
There's no reason to wait. You can just bestow it upon me
Just
now.
bestow it now.
Got it.
What do I win? No, but always keep me posted. And if you guys do some Halloween specials, let me know because
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
the spooky stuff.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, thanks. It was nice meeting the rest of you. Nice seeing you again. And
nice to meet you.
but I'll be back for when you award me the guest of the year.
The guest of the year. For sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Juicies.
All right. Thank you, Stevie.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, here we go. All right, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for episode 25. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you guys can go ahead and like, subscribe, hit our link tree in our Instagram bio. Same thing for Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. It'll take you to all of our content. Drop us a message. We'll go ahead and read it on the show. We appreciate you guys, tuning in, listening to us, watching us. So yeah, Ash, hit us with the goodbye.
Comix, we are everywhere, except for Luis when he doesn't show up, and then we have to do a show without him.
Good night, everybody.
You know what? Goodbye.